Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Amer Alzahrani. Today, me and my friend Yslam will present about high frequency surgery, electrosurgical unit. First, what is electrosurgical unit? High frequency electrosurgical unit is medical device that use the concentrated heat caused by the high frequency current, which work in regional biological tissue to vibration or press tissue or tissue components to achieve the purpose of medical operation, such as coagulation or cutting. In the next slide, brief history about electrosurgical unit. For thousands of years, humans have used heat to treat some kind of diseases. In the 1920s, the electrosurgical unit was developed by inventor William T. Bovey, and then introduced into the clinical practice by Harvey Cushing, founder of modern neurosurgery. Then the first use of electrosurgical generator in the operating room occurred on October 1, 1926. Then in the low power bifurcator was introduced for office use in the 1940s. In the next slide, theory. Electrosurgical devices are frequently used during the surgical operation, helping to prevent blood loss in hospital operating room or outpatient procedure. Different level can be set on the ATU depending on the depth of the cut and the point of the operation. As shown in the slide, cut is used for cutting tissue, and bleeding. Use a mixture of bleeding and coagulation. It's used to both cuts as well as steam the resulting bleeding. And third point, coagulation is used for maximum homeostasis. And the third dissection is used to chiefly for destroying tissue. And monopolar mode are used for cutting and coagulation. And the bipolar mode that has forceps like an electrode is usually used for dissecting and destroying tissue. Now, Yslam will complete the rest of the presentation with you.
Hello everyone, my name is Yslam Alamry, and I will continue the rest of this presentation. So, as you can see in the figure, electrosurgical units ESU has a high frequency electrical current to cut devices and control bleeding by causing convolution. Tissue resistant to a high density current causes a heating effect with the result in the tissue destruction. The ECU may use a monopolar or bipolar mode. Moving to the next slide. So in this slide, I will be talking about the device, about the parts of this device. This device is divided into two types. One type monopolar technique, and the other type is bipolar technique. And we will talk about the insulation of each of them. In monopolar electrosurgical, the current is transferred from the active electrode tip to a device under or around the patient. On the other hand, in bipolar, the active electrode is transferred from one side to another side without the need for a plate under the patient. Moving to the next slide. So this part, I will talk about the pros and cons on each of them, and on each of the electrical surgery and the regular surgery. So the electrical surgery has a high accuracy. On the other hand, the regular surgery accuracy depends on the doctor. And electrosurgery reduce blood loss, and regular surgery excessive blood loss during the large opening. So, and the third pros for the electrosurgery is less time. And on the other hand, regular surgery, it takes a lot of time. And of course, the electrosurgery is too expensive instead of the cheaper one, regular surgery. And moving to the next slide. So in conclusion, through this research and this presentation, we have learned a very spectacular device that helps doctors in many surgical procedures, which is electrosurgical unit. The device helps the doctor to cut quickly with high accuracy. In addition, it prevents excessive blooding. We learned that there are two types of this device, namely monopolar technique and on the other hand bipolar technique, and we talked about them in details during this research. Also, we talked about who is the first to develop this device. We also talked about the principle of the system work, and finally the difference between regular surgery and electrosurgery. In conclude, thanks all for listening, and we are hoping to enjoy your day. Thanks.